Hello, it is Sunday, July 9th, 2023. I'm Chris Raymond. Welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Sunday puzzle today, which means we have a large grid, a large themed grid. It doesn't have quite 1,000 words in it, but it'll feel pretty close, I suspect, by the time we're done. So I hope you have some time to enjoy a nice, long, leisurely crossword. And this nice, long, leisurely crossword has been brought to us by Adam and Annette Noble, Emma Smith, Jake Rodkin, and, as always, the invaluable Timothy Mark, the indomitable Shoalmaster, and the incredible Horan family. So thank you so much to the 6 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for your generous support. I really do appreciate it. It does keep this channel going, and for that, I'm incredibly grateful. If you'd like to find out more about that, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve. And thank you to everybody who has gone there and become a patron. There's also a link in the description field, of course, and at that page, you can find all of the bonus videos for patrons. That includes the monthly bonus puzzle for July, the most recent mini puzzle speed solve, and apologies to and thank you to those in the extra special secret channel in the Daily Solve Discord chat server for patrons. Thank you to those in there who pointed out to me that there was an audio issue with the most recent mini puzzle speed solve. It was too quiet for some reason, so I've re-uploaded that video, and that should be changed now on that post if you give it another look. So thanks again for pointing that out. All right, and thank you again to everybody who is a patron. Thanks also to everybody who's subscribed to the channel. Please do consider doing so if you enjoy these videos. And you can also, of course, join that same Daily Solve Discord server. It is open to everybody to join. There is an extra channel for patrons. All right. Let's get on to today's crossword. This is a construction by Christina Iverson, who I think is one of the puzzle editors for the New York Times herself. A couple of dozen crosswords to her name in the New York Times on top of her crossword editing responsibilities. And this was itself edited, as always, by Will Shorts. It's a Sunday puzzle, so it has a name. It's entitled 1,000 Words. And, oh, I just remembered, sorry, I actually have this other version of this page that I completely forgot. This is the original version of the page with the note, which I removed for the version that I'll solve, so it'll actually fit on the screen. But this one expressly mentions this puzzle is intended to have picture clues. So that must be the 1,000 words bit, because as we all know, picture is worth 1,000 words. Anyway, if you're solving on an app that hasn't been updated, you might see a description of the missing image file instead of the intended clue. All right, well, hopefully we don't have that issue. I don't think we need that note anymore because it should all be fine since I'm solving online. In any case, we're ready to go. This is 1,000 Words by Christina Iverson. Let's start solving and see what sort of picture clues have been. Oh, wow, look at this. Right. Okay. Well, we have something written in what looks to me like Japanese. So this is the second time we've had kind of non-Roman script in the crossword this week. And although here we have a person that seems to be spitting something out, here we have a little doodle of a computer. Here we have what looks like sort of legal iconography. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll have to decide what we do with those. Anyway, let's start out with the first clue, entwined. And I don't know what it is. City that calls itself the heart of Texas. In 4 letters in Texas, the first thing that came to mind was Paso, as in El Paso. But the second, more appropriate thing that came to mind is Waco, Texas, because that's 4 letters long. I have no idea if Waco calls itself the heart of Texas, but let's see if that helps. Oh, entwined. No, never mind. I thought wound, as in wound up, but that doesn't fit in 4 letters. Wiry? I don't really think that's correct. Maybe it's not Waco. In the offing. If something's in the offing, it's active or it's, I don't know. Oh, here's this. I don't even know where to begin with these just yet. Concerning driveway site. Okay, maybe this isn't Waco. I have no idea what this is. We'll keep going. Emotional in a way. Hammy, maybe? If you're emotional on stage. Symbolic object. A totem or a... in 5 letters. What is a symbolic object? Celebrity gossip show. City in Uttar Pradesh. Optimistic. This doesn't seem right. Rosy, maybe? Optimistic? Emotional. This does not augur well, I have to say. This is not feeling, I'm not inspired, I'm not infused with confidence. Like a good shot in soccer, oh, on goal. Okay, that is the case. You could have a shot that's on goal, but it might be deflected by the goalkeeper. Or it might not be. Source of Tibetan cheese, a yak, surely. Okay, good. This is the area where I can sort of break into the puzzle, perhaps. Emotional in a way. Symbolic object. Maybe it is a totem, actually. That was what I said, and I discarded that thought because of emotional. Oh, so teary. So that's emotional in a way. One way to be emotional would be to be teary, whereas you could also be, exceedingly happy or some other evidence of emotion. Okay. Oh, city in Uttar Pradesh, Agra. There we go. Okay. And celebrity gossip. Oh, I think this was literally in yesterday's puzzle or the day before. E-News. Yeah, this was just in the crossword. E-News, celebrity gossip show. Someone pointed out in response to that in a comment. It's nice to have a valid E clue. That's actually something that is used, and this is because it's quite literally the name of the program, as opposed to generically referring to electronic news or something. All right, if you have elbow room, you have leeway to work or to have an opinion or something. Half of a religious title, Dalai is in Dalai Lama. Could argue slightly more than half of the title because there are only 4 letters in the other word. But it is half in the sense that it is 1 word out of 2, and that's half, so fair enough. In the offing, right. I still don't know what that is. What about, oh, right, this is something else. I do not know what this is, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what it's conveying to me, I guess is more accurate. Concerning driveways. Ice, maybe? It would be concerning to see ice in the driveway? I don't know. I don't know a 4-letter Texan city that ends in I. Okay, capital in the land of the midnight sun. What is the land of the midnight sun? Do I know that? Could it be... oh boy, it's on the tip of my tongue. Could it be... This is infuriating. What am I thinking? Oslo. Oslo is what I was thinking of. Good Lord. Okay, this strikes me as a place that could conceivably be called the land of the midnight sun because of its latitude, I guess. Far north. Column in an advice column. Column in an advice column. Not sure I understand what I'm meant to picture there. Ben Jonson love poem of 1616. Could be could start with could be addressed to a subject, could be some sort of ode, perhaps. Classic figure in Arnold Lobel books. This name was familiar, but I can't think why. Group going over the falls. Group going over the falls, question mark. What is falls? There's some kind of pun here, and I'm not quite sure what it is. Brewery container, an ale keg, maybe? Beer brewery? Oh, a czar, maybe? Column in an advice column. I don't know if that's right. I'm just sort of guessing there. It doesn't really seem like it would fit with Arnold Lobel. Group going over the falls. I don't know. What am I looking for? What about this little area? Easily removable part of a car's interior. A mat? Sort of where your feet might go. Durable, water-resistant wood. Teak? Used for decks and things. That would make sense. Prop in The Shining. There's an axe famously used in The Shining. That incredible shot in which Jack Nicholson character is swinging an axe into the door where Shelley Duvall is hiding, and the camera tracks the axe perfectly. It's absolutely extraordinary. Incredible camera operation there. Axis and Allies is a board game. Sole proprietor. Oh, the proprietor of the vehicle named the Soul, which is manufactured by Kia. That's a clever clue. Humiliates, makes abashed. I mean, it technically works, but it's not really idiomatic. Newsroom post. You could be posted to a desk in a newsroom. First steps in many home renovations informally. First steps. Oh, first steps plural. Right. So there's an S at the end. Not sure what that's looking for. Squeezes out, ekes out. You could squeeze out a living. Eke out a living is often how that's used. Delocate. That's not a word. That doesn't. Peck could be a kiss. A peck could be a small kiss. Davenports or furniture, kind of sofa. Oh, demolitions. Maybe you demolish, the existing contents of your kitchen or something. That could be it. Humiliate. Humiliates. Makes off something. I'm not sure. Plot, perhaps. Could be a plot of land. Could be the plot of a story. Could be a plot meaning a kind of contrivance or a ploy or a ruse or something. And actually, that's being referred to by 40 down. What is that one? Oh, Alaskan city that sounds like it belongs in a 41 down. I don't know offhand. Is Nome an Alaskan city? Organic compound, an ester. It fits with the S there, and it's 5 letters long. Oh, here's this person spitting water, or just somewhere, maybe just generically spitting. I can't tell which I'm meant to assume. This looks like it's spelling gimbal or something. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, file a Led Zeppelin album under Z, say. You missort something. I would be right, because this is imagining a fictional person who's interpreting this as somebody's name. So Zeppelin would be the surname, and then if that were the case, it would be properly filed under Z, but it is not. So that would be a missort. Like Leonard Skinner or something like that. Plot, perhaps. Still could be gnome. What about this? Builders of braided fiber bridges. Interesting. Is this some sort of animal? Builders of braided fiber bridges. Interesting. Ends with an S, presumably. Oh, but this is one of these. I haven't a clue what's going on with this yet. Person on talk radio. A host, a DJ, DJ wouldn't be a talk radio. I am not sure. Humiliate. Humiliates makes. I don't know. I just don't see what this is. I can't believe I'm not able to fill in just based on context there. Okay, where else can I go? Where can I find another break in here? Title in Portuguese. Could be Sao. That's very common. Still could be no. Ben Jonson love poem. To a something. Doesn't really help me. What is this? Adjust. Tweak? Yeah, you could tweak something. You could adjust it. Oops. Oh, this is probably somebody's name. Ben Jonson, Love Poem of 1616. Group going over the falls. Oh, OSHA. Right, okay. The federal agency, the U.S. federal agency that deals with workplace safety. So they could be sort of going over in the sense of, reviewing workplace accidents, literal falls. Okay. Oh, Toad, Arnold Lobel. That's how I know that. Frog and Toad, right? That's Arnold Lobel. Okay. I knew it was familiar, but I couldn't place it. Column in an advice column. Do's and don'ts must be what this means. You have a do's column and a don'ts column. And then, what about this? Subjects to slight ridicule. Swats? You could swat somebody metaphorically. Not very convinced by that. Unleash upon. I could let, if you have a dog, you could let them at somebody, unleash it upon them. Nightwear. Male is in sort of chainmail armor. Subjects to slight ridicule is twits. What would this be? Boy, this is. I am not making quick work of this, am I? Oh, spitting image. Right, it literally includes the word image. Oh, so this will be sketches. These are all going to have, so the picture worth 1,000 words, that really was more of a hint than I actually took advantage of here. So character sketches, these, right, okay. It's not I thought this was going to have some sort of interpretation of the meaning of these characters, but no. It's just generically character sketches. Here we have a spitting image, right? A computer icon, I bet. Yeah, I bet it is. Anyway, we'll get to the rest, but let's look at this first. Miso soup, push-up muscle and brief. Your pecs, I guess, are used for push-ups. That makes sense. Blank jumping, ski jumping, I suppose, Olympic sport. Instrument that sounds much like a glockenspiel would be a celeste. Oops, spelled that completely. Made a mess of that. There we go. Celeste. It's another sort of delicate pitched percussion instrument. Okay, source of the line, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. It must be Psalms from the Bible. I mean, that would make sense. Italian meat entree, informally. Some sort of Parmigiana dish? Oh, veal Parmigiana, must be. Okay. Entwined. Oh, it's wove. I was thinking it would be woven or something like that, but entwined, it's also the past participle. You could say I have, I wove that kind of thing. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's past tense. I guess woven would be past participle. Anyway, canal locale is ear, and in the offing is a head. It's in the offing, it's a head. Does that work? Fancy seeing you here. I guess it does. Oh, hi. And this is Waco after all of that. Okay. Concerning driveway site oil, that is better than ice because oil would suggest your car is leaking oil and therefore there's some kind of mechanical fault. All right. Even. In a tie. We're even. We're in a tie. In a game or what have you. Relative of limited could be incorporated. Those are ways of referring to how companies are organized or corporations are organized. Paleo's opposite. Paleo meaning old, ancient, and neo meaning new. His death sparked a civil war known as the Year of the Four Emperors, Nero of Rome. Red alert. Stop light? Stop sign, maybe. No, it's not really an alert, is it? I suppose it is. It's sort of alerting you. It's saying there's an intersection here, you should stop, and it's red. I guess that makes sense. Blank slate? Oh, is it Celesta? The instrument that sounds much like a glockenspiel. Maybe it's Celesta rather than Celeste with an E. That would allow this to be blank slate, which sounds correct. One's holding hands. One's holding hands. I don't know. Let's make sure slate is correct, I suppose. Picker of a peck of pickled peppers is Peter. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, as the nursery rhyme goes. And if one adds liquor to a drink, one spikes it. Let me say that again. I repeat. Okay, so slate is looking pretty good. Organization created the same year as Earth Day. Must be the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency of the United States. Mihrab is to mosque as an apse is to a church. Not archaeological. I guess it could be archaeological if it was the mosque or church was old enough, but architectural features. Okay. Oh, right, and here's one of these. What is this? Legal representation? Yes, it is a visual representation of the legal profession or the practice of law, I suppose. Okay, caustic substances are lies. In other words, the other side of the pH scale from acids. And Seamus Heaney, Nobel Prize-winning poet. There we go. One's holding hands. Ulnae, the ulna bones in your arm. And I think we, in fact, had ulna recently, but it was pluralized with an S, ulnas. And I think at the time I pointed out, but you can also pluralize this with an E. And here you go. Here's an example of it, assuming my crosses are correct. Letters that aptly fill the blanks in disturbance. Din would be, right, din are the letters that fill in disturbance, and a din could well be a disturbance. So there we go, very good. Clear sign, a dead giveaway? Yeah, there we go. Boy, I'm finally I feel like I'm in the, I've found the pace of this puzzle, I suppose. I've found my way into it, which is a relief. Also, and ThinkPad maker, Lenovo, which I think was at one point an IBM. This was an IBM. Yeah, I think maybe Lenovo was spun off of IBM or something like that. Anyway, kind of pants that are baggy are, harem pants are definitionally quite baggy. Like a rake. Roguish. A roguish man could be described as a rake. There we go. And a musical set in Buenos Aires could be Evita, about Eva Perón, who also came up in the puzzle recently, I think. I can't remember if it was Eva or Perón or Evita, but she came up in the puzzle in some form or fashion within the last couple of weeks, I think. Handy. Oh, utile, as in sort of useful. It can be used, as opposed to sort of inutile. Or maybe that's just a French word, inutile. Does that exist in English as well? I can't even remember. In any case, they come from French, as does, I think, about 60% of the English vocabulary. Actors Holm and McKellen, Ian Holm and Ian McKellen, and this is an and clue, so of course we pluralize it. Oh, moving picture here. There we go. It's an image, a picture of somebody moving house or moving something. And this is the picture from 1,000 words. We finally got the synonym that comes right from the theme. Okay, let's see. Old blank, country standard. I do not know this, but it looks like Old Shep. I mean, Old Shepherd, that could well be, Old Shep could be a dog's name or something. I don't know. First name in cosmetics, Estee, as in Estee Lauder, famous cosmetician. Actor's audition tape could be a reel. You could refer to your demo reel, for instance. If you're sailing, you're a sea. You're on the ocean, on the main. And a split bit could be a pea, as in a split pea. You could make split pea soup, for instance. Portal in Mario games. Well, Mario famously is a plumber by profession, whatever that means exactly. But that is ostensibly his profession, and he does descend pipes. Just like plumbers do. Long-running procedural set in D.C. Oh, NCIS? I had no idea that was set in Washington, D.C., but presumably this is the answer. Is it? I guess so. Charming bunch could be, a coven, a bunch of witches who could, cast some kind of hex or charm on you. Oh, builders of braided fiber bridges, Inca. Right, okay, I was on the wrong track entirely. I wasn't even thinking of trying to identify a society, but there we go. That's exactly what it was. That's very interesting. Person on talk radio is I don't know. Okay. Ogden Nash's Kind of an Ode to Duty, maybe? Kind of an Ode to Duty. I mentioned odes earlier when we were, that reminds me, we never looked back at, where was that? To Celia. Here was the Ben Jonson love poem of 1616, which I'm wondering if you could perhaps in some way characterize as an ode. And anyway, I brought up odes, and here is one officially in the crossword, the official poetic form of the New York Times crossword. This looks like garden, and yes, indeed, a garden could be a plot. And, the Alaskan city that sounds like it belongs in a garden is indeed Nome. After all of that, it was Nome, and it didn't even occur to me I was thinking, what does gnome sound like? It doesn't sound like anything. It sounds like the mythological creature, the gnome, which can be placed in a garden. There we go. Okay, humiliates. Makes a fool of. If you've been made a fool of, you've been humiliated. Of course, that's correct. Person on talk radio, a caller. I was completely distracted by attempting to imagine what the name of a host might be on talk radio, but nope, callers are part of it as well. Heart chambers are atria, and to suffer from insomnia is to lie awake, perhaps? Here, referee, probably no. Oh yes, no, it is referee, zebra. Referees so named because of, in certain sports, the black and white striped shirts they wear. All right, medical research organization, the CDC maybe in the US. It could be something else. Unsolved as a math problem. No, I thought, well, CDC, this could be OPEC, but no, it's not. It's open if it's an unsolved math problem. Deer departed. Right, so departed deer, the animal. What does that mean? Is it an extinct animal? I'm not actually sure what this is looking for. Medical research. NIH, National Institute of Health. Oh, venison. Right. It's that's clever. It's deer departed as in a deer that is deceased, and the meat of a deer is called a venison. Well, not a venison, it's called venison. All right. Nostalgic filter, sepia. You've seen old photographs in that sort of dusky brown color, sepia tone. Nowadays used as a filter to make things look old. Whom a public defender might go up against familiarly. The DA, the district attorney, perhaps? And what is that, a sort of gumball machine or something? What is that? I'm not 100% certain I know what this is. An image of. So I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. The responsibility could be on you. In other words, the onus is on you. The burden is on you. The burden of proof, for instance. To blacken something is to tar it, maybe? Could be used literally or metaphorically. Start at the end. At the letter T, literally the end of the word start is a T, which phonetically is spelled T-E-E. Could be. Oh, lotto draw. I see. This is not a gumball machine. It's meant to be, the crank is meant to be, it rotates the sphere around to randomize the balls in order to draw a lottery number. So it's a lotto drawing. Very good. Okay. I wonder if the constructor drew these. It's very funny if so. General rule is a precept. Nay. Oh, is this the dance? Yes, dance craze of the 2010s. Nay. All right. There we have it. That's been in the crossword actually a couple of times before, I think. What might follow a recitative in music? Maybe an aria. So in opera, recitative is, it's a particular way of delivering speech in an opera by which you sort of sing, but you're kind of singing in it's kind of the lowest possible thing that would count as, say, the most basic form of singing that could count. You're kind of just speaking, but with an intentional pitch. But it's not melodic and musical, and then it might be followed by an aria, a full-on song for a featured singer usually. In musical theater, they tend to just speak theatrically during those bits rather than sort of sing recitative. McEntie's product. No idea what that is. Influential writer of erotica. Anais Nin, maybe? Let's see if that carries through. Barf. Gag, I guess. A sort of nausea sound. And then getting crusty is caking. Yeah. Something could cake. It could sort of get crusty and start to split, maybe. McEntie's product. I have no idea what this is. I don't know. The Jetsons dog. What was the name of the dog in the Jetsons? Alvin? No. That's Alvin and the Chipmunks. What is it? I don't remember. Oh, Arrow? Astro. There we go. That's it. Okay, probably haven't seen the Jetsons in a decade. No wonder it took me a while. PhD projects are theses. You could write a PhD thesis that you could then defend. So what is this? Irish something? Mackenzie's product. The Gilded Age channel. Oh, was that HBO? I actually did watch The Gilded Age. I think it was on HBO. It was on Sky here in the UK, but those usually come from HBO. Those prestige shows that show on Sky. Like a spoon in a magic show. Bent, right. There's the illusion that in which the magician purports to bend a spoon with their mind. 9 to 5, maybe. Open? As in opening hours of a shop, or 9 to 5? I'm not sure what else that's asking for. I mean, it looks like a job, but I don't know why that would fit here. Like hair after being rubbed with a balloon, maybe. Well, it could be statically charged and, as a result, standing on end. Flick was one in a Pixar flick. Oh, an ant, maybe, from the film A Bug's Life? I don't remember the name specifically, but in 3 letters with an N in the middle seems likely. Ink. Tats? Tattoos? Ink is one of those things that could be plural as well, so it could be tats. 9 to 5, maybe. Oh, odds, right. You could be given 9 to 5 odds on a bet. That's a very clever clue as well. Oh, Irish tea, Mackenzie's Irish tea. Okay, I'm sure I've encountered that, but I didn't remember it. I certainly didn't have it in the forefront of my mind. Here we have sports something. Sports Illustrated. There we go, the magazine. Very clever. Horse or a dog. Husky. Ah, nice one. Your voice, such as my, honestly, I have to feel mine. I have to say my voice seems a bit husky right now, a little bit hoarse. But also a husky is a breed of dog. All right, a timely clue. Ceasefire could be a truce in a military conflict or something less intense than a military conflict, I suppose. If something is sudden, it is abrupt. If you let the cat out of the bag, you blab. When I read this initially, I was thinking of it in past tense, but it could be present as well. Maguire of Spider-Man. So several Spider-Mans ago was Tobey Maguire. Kind of sax could be an alto saxophone. It's one of the pitch ranges of a saxophone. Hairy cousin of TV and film. Cousin It. There we go. The completely hairy sort of creature. Charge. You could yell charge. You could yell attack. City on the Arkansas River. Tulsa? Seems likely to me. Greek god of the sky. Zeus, maybe. The sky. Zeus was god of several things. Was one of them the sky? That sounds extremely likely because he was the god of lightning, for instance. Komodo dragons and Gila monsters are lizards. Oops. Film director Roth. It's Eli Roth. To seal the deal is to ice it, I suppose. That sounds right. Slowpoke. Oh, snail. So this must be, this up here must be referring to snail mail. Nightwear. What? Why is this pointing to that? Slowpoke. A slowpoke is a snail. Nightwear is male. We already went over that one. Why are these pointing to each other? I mean, I know the phrase snail mail, but why is that? I don't understand what that means. Strange. Why are they pointing to each other? Okay. Baby name that doubled in popularity in 2014 thanks to Disney. Must be Elsa from Frozen. Princess Elsa, I guess. And then if one was shocked, one gasped. Shocked to find gambling in this establishment. To be in limbo is to pend, for something to be pending. Hasn't yet sort of resolved itself. A don't is a no-no, sort of a taboo or something forbidden. Kerfuffles are ados. They could be sort of dust-ups or, occurrences. It's a big ado. Detox, you could detox at a spa, so detox destination, a spa. So it's like Bray, maybe? Yes, exactly that. Hill in the Highlands. So the Bray, a hill in Scotland could be a Bray in sort of Scots English. A little stinker could be a brat. A noisy fight could be a row. You could, be involved in a big noisy row. A Hershey candy brand, a Rolo is a Hershey candy, I'm pretty sure. And according to, oh yeah, of course, Allah, yes, yes. According to this person, Allah, that person. Fiddle with something is to toy with it, and I guess it's not so much according to this person, but more according to these rules, sort of a la this convention. I can't think of a good example off the top of my head, but that's more what it means rather than sort of a person's claim. Fiddle with something is to toy with something, and there we go. All right, so after quite a slow start, I have to admit, I did get into the sort of swing of this puzzle, and it was a great, incredibly enjoyable solve from that point on, I have to say. It is a Sunday puzzle, so it still was more than half an hour, but so it goes. What can you do? It's a big grid. And let's go over our fun little bits of iconography here. We had character sketches, a spitting image, a computer icon, legal representation, a lotto drawing, a moving picture, and finally, Sports Illustrated. So these are, you could essentially call this basically a rebus, not a rebus in the New York Times crossword sense, in which you can enter in an arbitrary number of letters into a single cell, but rather a rebus in which a picture, some form of symbol, represents words in a puzzle-solving context. So I would say this puzzle was a rebus puzzle, although not in the form we tend to know it at the New York Times crossword. I still have no idea what's going on with this snail mail thing. What is this? Why are they? Again, I understand that snail mail is a phrase, but why is it being highlighted here? Please let me know if you understand what that means. Am I missing something about the theme? Is there some kind of revealer somewhere that I missed? I don't think so. Anyway, completely baffled by that. But that's it. That's it. I don't. I'm gonna go drink some tea or something and soothe my throat. So I'm gonna draw this video to a close. I really enjoyed this puzzle. I have to say it was a lot of fun figuring out what was going on with these things. This was a great one to start with because it really looks like language. I mean, well, obviously, presumably it is language. But what I mean is, it looks like we're meant to sort of interpret it as language somehow. But no, not ultimately necessary. All of these were purely sort of visual in nature. Anyway, very clever. I enjoyed that a lot, especially once I unstuck myself. Hope you enjoyed it as well. I'll be back tomorrow for the much smoother, much certainly simpler and faster Monday puzzle, still with a theme. Hope you join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Sunday. Take care.